Anissa, and I'm back again with Something to Finish podcast where I discuss topics that help you and I ascend to the highest version of ourselves. I am I'm very glad to be here. I had a tough couple of days, and I'm going to get into that. And I had a whole topic planned out for this week. However, life was lifing, so I decided to switch up the topic for today. And you'll see in a moment. But first, I'm going to go ahead and encourage you, as usual, to help us grow our community by subscribing on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcast. And to also engage in the content so that we can actually get the content out to others so that we can actually grow our community. And you can do that by commenting on the YouTube video and liking the YouTube video, sharing it. You can write a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and you can give the podcast 5-star rating. 5 stars. That's what I like. So, yes, if you could do that, I would greatly appreciate it. And it will help us continue to grow the community, like I just said, like 3 times. So, yeah. Um, I'm just gonna hop right into and share it with somebody you love, share it with somebody you like, share it with somebody who you think might benefit from hearing some information like this, some information that will help them ascend to the best version of themselves because we all need that boost sometimes, even if it's from just a random person that's recording a podcast online. I know I get a lot of encouragement from randos online. So, yeah, let me be your rando. So, yeah. Today is going to be about willpower. And I chose to switch up this week's topic to willpower because I had a whole topic planned out, which I'll have to push to next week. But the past couple of days have been very challenging for me, especially in the topic of willpower. And my willpower has kind of been non existent. And I say that because, well, I'm just going to first off read off the definition that I gathered from the internet, from the interwebs, because some people may not know right off the top of their head what willpower is or what it is talking about. So, willpower is the inner strength helping us move toward our goals despite challenges that inevitably happen on the way. And I got that from medium.com. So basically, my willpower problem this week has just been I was feeling really drained and tired. And I don't know if it's the Mercury retrograde or what, but I was just feeling like, especially the other day, I woke up feeling like I was over it. And if you're a returning listener or if you're a new listener, I'm a stay at home mom. So that don't cut it. It doesn't cut it when you have a small child depending on you as soon as they wake up. And usually she's either up before I am or, she wakes up immediately after I do. So, yeah, that sums it up. I It's hard for me to just not do anything or, have that ability to be like, "Ah, I just don't feel like doing this," or I can go without eating, but she cannot. So, yeah, that's just that on that. Like, and not that that's anything that's good or that I should be doing. I should be eating. However, we've all had those days. I know I have where I'm like, okay, I really don't feel like cooking anything, so I'm gonna just eat these chips. Or I'm gonna just sit here until I can maybe muster up the courage to make me a meal. And it may be hours and hours and hours later, from when I woke up originally in that day. So yeah, I just thought I would come on here and share some things when it comes to the topic of willpower and some things that can combat your willpower that's already built in because we all have a level of willpower and determination and, self gusto to get out here and do the things that we have to do every day. However, there are ways that, our willpower can be depleted, and there are ways that we can amplify our willpower so that we can get through the day with ease, with grace, and without feeling like, "Ugh," like, oh my gosh, I have to do everything. Or I thought I turned my phone on airplane mode. Wow, that's embarrassing. How did I do that? Anyhow, I'm not even going to delete that because I've been on the kick of not editing my podcast, and it feels so much more authentic and like me. So, yeah. Yeah. So, basically, yeah, what I was saying is there are ways that can deplete and ways that can amplify your level of willpower. So, let's talk about it. I wrote down because I'm gonna use this notebook because, like I told y'all, I have been feeling not the best Anissa version. So I'm gonna use my notes today. I'm gonna look down periodically. Don't judge me. If you judge me, that's okay. But yeah. So some of the things that I could think of that could combat your willpower, your already built in willpower, could be resistance and constant decision making. And just to put it into perspective, that is literally what what stops me from doing things most of the times. Like if I wake up and I have not planned meals for Amali, my daughter, or I haven't planned meals for myself, or I don't know what's going on today, you know, I can tend to feel like, oh, like, oh my gosh, like she needs to eat the greens, she need to have the beans, she need to have fruit, she need to have, I can feel like I'm overdoing it, or I have to make all these decisions, and I kind of feel like, like I'm just depleted, or I feel like I don't have any help when I know I have help, or I just feel incompetent, and that resistance that sometimes can easily take over our bodies is detrimental to our willpower because it's basically resistance is basically us telling our minds like, no, I know I need to do this, but I'm gonna pull back and just wait a little bit. It's kind of like procrastination. Honestly, if you procrastinate, like when I was in college, I procrastinated a lot. School in general, I procrastinated a lot. And that was just me resisting something that I knew I had to do in order to get the outcome that I was looking for, which was passing my classes or passing a test or, completing some homework and or going out on the weekend because I'm gonna go out on the weekend, when I was in college, but I would definitely feel that guilt and I would resent myself when I didn't complete the things that I needed to when I was in college. And that was me resisting what I needed to do and what I knew I could do. And then, like, what was the outcome? Like, it wasn't a good outcome. Hopefully that made sense. My brain is everywhere. I'm so thankful for you guys listening. But yes, constant decision making. Constant decision making was it's a huge one for me because especially with my daughter and how she eats and all of her allergies and her eczema, I'm very limited and I have to think real hard most of the times to figure out like what I'm going to feed her, what I'm going to cook that day. Do I have all the ingredients to make these meals that I'm going to make her that she can eat and that will, feed her sustenance and nutrients and vitamins? Did I buy the vitamins this week? Oh my gosh, did she run out of vitamins so now I have to go to the store? Wow, like that's a lot. Just being a parent in general, being a human, taking care of yourself and then taking care of a child. Wow, it's a lot. But, I digress. That comes, that brings in the next point that I wanted to bring up is worrying about anticipated outcomes. And this is a whole thing. Hold on. I wrote down a string of things that could deplete your willpower. And this one specifically is like a string because these, let's see, one, two, three, four, these four things are like linked. So let me tell you, I'm gonna just tell them all to you. Worrying about anticipated outcomes, which creates negative thinking, and then that leads to stress, and then that causes a lack of action. Wow. And I was just sitting there when I was thinking of these things, and I'm like, why do I do that to myself? It's really sad, and it's unfortunate that really what determines your willpower and how you make actions, or if you do or do not take action in things, is really all linked to your mindset and the way that you're thinking. So, worrying about anticipated outcomes, we're just going to break it down. I do that so much. And I think I don't, it's not on purpose, but I think it's just because I'm always kind of looking forward to the future, or I'm like, I know what could be. So, oh, I wish it could come out like this, or I need it to come out this way, or if I don't do this, then it won't do this, or you know what I mean? Like, I'm really just worrying myself, anticipating things that I cannot control. So, that in turn leads to me creating even more negative thinking, like, oh, I'm never going to get this done, or this isn't even going to work, or is this even worth it? Or I guess I'm not going to be able to eat because, I'm making a molly, all this stuff. Like, I'm not even going to feel good enough to cook anymore. Or I'm not even going to be able to go doodly doo doo doo. Or, it's just a string of negative thoughts going back to back to back, all because I was worrying about an anticipated outcome. That's a no, no. And that leads, like I said, to stress. And stress is definitely one way that you can hugely deplete your willpower, and the way that you can, be able to formulate ideas and plans in order to get the actions that you need done, or resist doing certain things so that you can get to a certain point. So, yes, I'm gonna just go ahead and get to. I feel like I don't know. I'm telling y'all, I'm off this week. I feel off. I'm not off. I'm off. Anyways, good, good, good gracious. I didn't even. I didn't even read the card this week. Let me read the card. Like I tell you, I'm not editing this. I shall not. I will not edit this. This is gonna have to be this just gonna have to be the one that's just sounding horrible. I don't know. Maybe it'll be the most relatable. But that's what I'm gonna hope. I'm gonna put that positive thought up into the universe, up into the air. This episode will probably be the most relatable because it's the realest version of me. like, ah. So this is the card for today. Mike Dooley, 60 card deck. Okay. So, yes, it says, isn't it a hoot of all the people in all the world who truly get it? Few actually give it to themselves. Whatever it is you want, start. Give yourself compliments, praise, and presents. Give yourself time, permission, and love. Hugs, kisses, and smiles, winks, laughs, and applause. And I will give you even more. Now, please, the universe. Just put that there. I thought that was amazing. I thought that was amazing. I literally pulled that this morning when I woke up because that's when I planned this episode, because I'm like, I can't go through with the one that I already planned because this week has been, I can't even talk about that right now. Okay? I couldn't because it just didn't feel right. And I felt like this message about willpower had to, I had to give it out because obviously it was a reason I was going through all this hullabaloo. So yeah, I felt like that card, as usual, the card deck always comes through. I thought it was really resonating for the past few days that I've been going through. And I need to give myself more compassion. I need to give myself more love. And I think, a lot of you could probably resonate with that as well. It's really hard sometimes to reach out to yourself and give yourself that love, because it's like, self, you know what you need to be doing, but that person over there, little sister, you go, you do it. It's okay to make a mistake. It's okay. Bounce back. You got it. You don't have to be perfect. But it's like, why come I can't give myself that same encouragement? I can. I just have to remind myself to constantly give myself that positive reassurance, just like my brain automatically goes to negative comments or negative um, self talk. It's it's really sick how our minds are easily succumb to negativity, but it's such a task to try to get into, just regular positive thinking towards self. I think it's way easier to be positive and uplifting towards others, but for some reason the human brain just be like negativity, positivity, negativity, positivity. It's like, can we get a little bit of that positivity all day, please? So I'm working on it, y'all. Like I said, this podcast is for you and I to ascend to the highest version of ourselves. And this week was just a lot, but I just recording this is making me feel a lot better, because it's kind of like, oh, self talk. Like, you're right, Anissa. Be good to yourself. You're okay. You're doing great. Your kid's alive. You're alive. Live your life. Goodness. Take a break. So, yes, I'm going to go ahead and get to the ways that you can amplify your willpower. So, the first one would be to claim yourself successful ahead of time. Just like, I could be like, today, I'm going to make sure that I make a batch of pancakes that I can put in the freezer for my daughter. I'm going to make sure that I cut up some fruit in large amounts. I'm going to make sure that I have a great day. Today is going to be a great day. It's already a great day. I'm up and I'm saying affirmations, and I know affirmations can sound kind of like, girl, stop, or if they're not tailored, that's the thing. If they're not tailored specifically to your situation or to your life, they can seem like, okay, I said these things, but is it really affecting me? And so that would be my suggestion, is to, if you're going to use affirmations, to already claim that you are, going to achieve your success when it comes to your willpower. I would just tailor it to your life specifically, or the specific thing that you are, trying to accomplish. Like I said, most of my stressors or my overthinking comes from planning meals for Molly. So, I'm like, I'm going to be able to come up with some cool recipes for Molly today. Second would be to know thyself, know yourself, reflect on ways and days that have easily flowed, and days you were like, just pushing through. And it's like, I do this every day. This is nothing to me. Think of those days and kind of maybe you can reflect on it and jot down, what did I do that day? What did I already have a recipe in mind that I was going to make? I did. So maybe tonight I need to go ahead and look at some recipes, and that way tomorrow I won't feel so flustered, or I don't have to feel like that's another decision I have to make. Like I said again, coming back up here, constant decision making. If you have to make decisions back to back to back to back, you're gonna feel overwhelmed. You're gonna feel overloaded. So, you know what I mean? Know yourself and remind yourself of what you can and cannot handle, or will and will not handle. Okay? So, yeah. And the third thing would be to, mind you, I got four things today that we can use to improve ourselves. Usually I have three, but today I wrote four because I'm extra in need of help. So, yeah, like I said, three, don't overdo it by overloading yourself. This basically coincides with number two, because if you're knowing yourself and you remind yourself of the way good days can flow and they have flown, you know that you did not overload yourself. You know your limits. You know your limits. So literally just, don't overdo it. Don't try to be like, oh, they over there meal prepping every day. I need a meal prep every day. No, you don't. If you if you can't, then you can't. Like, don't force yourself to go over overexert yourself. Like, don't go over your limit. I promise you, that's the easiest way to deplete all the way down your willpower and the way that you can get through your days. That's the easiest way. Trying to compare yourself, trying to overdo it, trying to show out, don't do that. Just know your limits and go within them. Yeah, that's it. And then the last one would be to focus on the benefit of your actions. So I say that because personally, I like get really good, gratification from knowing the things that will come from my actions. Like, I don't know, like if I make a cool new recipe and I'm like, oh, I'm always gonna love this because I know she likes what I know she likes bananas. So the recipe calls for bananas. I'm like, she gonna love this new recipe. She gonna be like, more, more. That's rewarding, and that amps me up to do certain things. Not all the time, but I'm saying you can use it as a way to, excuse me, you can use it as a way to encourage yourself so that you can obtain that willpower, obtain that strength, and that, energy, that energy to get through the day, to get through that task and be like yesterday. I finally gathered my strength. My neck and my shoulders were kind of sore. Don't know why. Maybe stress. Anissa, stress. But I finally got up and I made her this new recipe. I wasn't lying. I made her a new recipe. It was like some little snack bars, and they called for bananas. And when I was mixing them, and I was in the kitchen, and I was mixing them in the bowl, whipping it with my wrist and whatnot, with the flick of the wrist, I was like, she's really gonna love this. I can't wait. But then I was kind of like, oh, it's not the exact consistency as the website says. But I was like, she gonna love this. It's got bananas in it. It's got bananas in it. She loves bananas, Nana. So, I baked them and I got done with them, and she literally wanted to eat the whole batch yesterday. But I'm like, no, you're not gonna be doing that because I told myself, and I know myself, and I reflect, and I'm like, usually that's what gets me in trouble. Making her something, having that gratification and that feel good feeling that, oh, she like what I made. It's new. It wasn't guaranteed that she would like it, and I just let her eat it all. So now you got to make a whole new batch the same day or tomorrow? No. We gon' what's it called? Ration this. This is something that can be put in the freezer or the refrigerator. You can, what I mean, like ration it out. She don't have to eat this whole thing. No. Oh my goodness. And I'm, it's like a in the moment thing. It's like, oh, that one thing I did is satisfying her. And it's satisfying me that she's satisfied. But I have to think of myself too while I'm thinking of her and be like, no, even though she might whine a little bit, I cannot allow her to eat this whole batch of, snack bars. That's not okay. Even though it's a healthy snack, no, no. And I'm okay with the tears. You got to be okay with the tears, Anissa. You cry. Why your baby can't cry? So, yeah, I digress. I just really hope that I didn't ramble too much in this episode. I didn't ramble too much in this episode. Let me claim it already right here. Hope that you guys enjoyed the really authentic, clumzetta content from me today. I really thoroughly enjoy recording my episodes and not editing. It makes me feel really good, and it makes me feel like what I put out is just going to be put out, and whoever it's for, it's going to be for. So I appreciate you guys once again. I really, truly do. And I really hope that everybody has had a great week, better than what mine has been. And for all of us, I hope that we have a wonderful week moving forward. It's May. Am I about to cry? It's May, and I'm excited to start a new month. One of my goals is to not eat out so much because I have been eating out. And I want to have a great summer with, my family. So, yeah, that's one of my goals for this month is to just like simmer down some summer on the money spending. I can cook at home. I can do that so that I can go eat out of town. So, yes, I hope that everybody has a great week. Like I just said, thank you for joining me again and peace.